Hi, it's me, Whitney. I am going to show you how to upcycle some chairs that we've already upcycled before. If you remember a couple years ago, I had some outdoor chairs that I'd gotten out of the garbage and then redid them. And now it's time to redo them again. The material I used the last time we upcycled those chairs was regular old duck canvas, this stuff that I got from Walmart. And it held up pretty well for a couple years. The back parts held up really well. The seat parts did not hold up super well because I have kept them out in the weather for years. I have not taken them in the winter, so they've had snow, they've had rain on them, and in kind of like the bellies of the seats where the water sits, kind of got a little bit compromised and a couple of them ripped. So the bottoms, I am not going to use fabric again. We're gonna use some scrap wood. For the backs, I did buy some fabric. You wanna see it? Look at how nice. So this print is called Toile. It's kind of like a heavy cotton canvas. I thought it would be a little bit heavier because I did buy it from like a sailing company, like a sailboat company. So we'll see. We're just gonna do it. If they break apart in another couple years, we'll do it again. So I've already taken the backs and the seats off. I've already gotten the seats of the chairs done and they look so good. So we're gonna go back in time and I'm gonna show you that whole process. But right now we're at the point where I'm just sewing, like recreating this template and sewing the backs of the chairs. I'll show you a little bit of how I do that, but I've already taught you how to do this whole process in my other video. So I will link that other video up in the eye and down below if you want to see like the full measurements and exactly like what stitches I do, because I did a really good job in that video of kind of explaining my process. We'll go over it briefly, but I'm not going to go too in depth. Let's go back in time. I'm going to show you how I made the seat bottoms. While you're watching that, I'm going to get started on making the back parts, and then we'll speed up to current time and we'll put everything together. See you in a second. So I'm just gonna take the fabric pieces that we made to upcycle these a couple years ago off. There's a little metal strip with some screws that I'm gonna be taking off the back and the bottom. Let's talk design. All right, so before I just had the canvas along the back and the bottom. Now, since the back part held up pretty well over the last couple years, I think I am gonna do a canvas again. For the bottom, I think I wanna do wood. I think that would be a really nice update to these chairs. So there's 16 inches between the rails. Now we could do something like this. So this is just 1x4. Those are 5 pieces of 1x4 cut to the 16 inches. I'm gonna stain these up. It's gonna look so nice. We could do something like this where there's a contrasting board in the middle. I mean, this would obviously be cut to the same length. This is just there for a placeholder for the idea. This design is very similar to what I did to that makeover IKEA desk a couple years ago. I really like having a contrasting piece in the middle. But here's my dilemma. For the back panels, I think I want to find some sort of fabric that has a print on it, like a lemon print or a floral print, something kind of fun instead of just a plain solid. So just imagine like a lemon or a floral print on the backs. I think something like this, a little bit more simple, would be better than something that's a little bit more busy. I think with a floral print on the back or a lemon print on the back, plus this detail going on here, it's gonna be a little bit too much. I do love this though, but if you are designing, think about the different patterns, the different textures and all of that you got going on. Is it too much or is it too little or is it just right? It's time to give these babies a fresh coat of black paint. Hopefully I can get this done before I get eaten alive by mosquitoes. Boom, done. These look phenomenal. Restaining these boards up in Minwax Early American. This has been by far my favorite stain over the last probably 6 or 7 years, but you have to get the Minwax brand if you want this exact color. All Early American stains are not created equal. Look at that. It is so pretty. It's the perfect chocolate, kind of semi-transparent, not too dark, not too light. It's just such a beautiful stain. I am going to try the sock method. So a glove and then an old sock. This is so easy. How was I staining things any differently before? Look at how pretty that color is. I mean, it's gorgeous. So quick refresher, if you are making a new piece from an old piece, you're using this as a template, what you're gonna wanna do is lay this super flat, measure edge to edge, finished measurements, and then add your seam allowance. So for this, I did a finished edge, I did a 1/2 inch seam allowance to finish this, folded it over, and then did a full inch seam allowance, and then a little encasing here for it's kind of like a boning that goes in there. So finished, and then add your seam allowance, and then the height. So if you're working with a fabric that has a print on it, like a directional print, like there's definitely, like you can tell if it's right side up or upside down, then you're gonna need to make 2 pieces and then sew them together on the top and the bottom. The ones I made before, I was working with just like a solid fabric, so I didn't have to have a seam up here. I didn't have to have 2 pieces, it was just one long piece that I folded over and then stitched a decorative stitch on top. But if I did that with this, the back side would be upside down. Just gonna do a little stitch on the outside to make this look clean and finished. About 1/4 inch. Then on the sides, we're gonna go in 1/2 inch. So we have a clean finish. And we're gonna stitch in the ditch and then make a little pocket for our boning. Out with the old, in with the new. These look so much better. Okay, so all of the stitching is the exact same. Now, there is a little like boning rod in here that I gotta get out. And it goes right in there. So what that little rod does is this is what screws onto the chair, like so. And this rod in the channel keeps the fabric from pulling out when there's weight on here. Pretty cool design. Mark the holes for my screws so we can make a little starter hole so it doesn't rip the fabric. I love this stuff, the Loctite Power Grab. I've used the all-purpose, I've used the heavy duty, but look, they have clear. I think we're gonna have to try this. I mean, it is double the price, but it's clear. I think we're gonna get it. Okay. So you wanna put a nice kind of thick bead of glue on, so to make sure it sticks, but not too much where you know it's gonna like really squeeze out. Ta-da! That looks great. I love them for some scrap wood. Some chairs plucked out of the garbage that we've upcycled a couple times. Some sailboat fabric. I think we did a good job. These are pretty awesome. I love this DIY, guys. I'm so excited I haven't really shared any of this garden with you. Not yet. We're gonna get there, but a sneak peek. I'm loving it. All right. If you like videos like this, please give this one a big thumbs up. Consider subscribing. I would love to have you here, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.